Hey guys, hope everybody's having a wonderful Canada Day and happy long weekend to everybody celebrating. Just wanted to make a quick video talking about this crazy challenge that I decided to take on and essentially bet my friend. And the challenge is a 30-day vlog challenge, which I initially saw a friend Alex Icon do, and that was probably about 7-8 years ago, where he recorded and released a video every single day for the next 30 days. And I think back when I saw him do it, I thought it was a crazy challenge to take on, but he ended up doing, and I don't know if it was one of his first ever videos, but fast forward now, he's been on YouTube for about 8 years, and his content is really awesome. So if you get a chance, please check him out. But I've been meaning to do this for about 2 years now, and every single time I wanted to get started, I've always, I guess the voice in the back of my head would always just tell me to not do it. You don't really have anything to talk about. You're gonna look funny. What are other people gonna think? The timing now really works out, because what Vlad and I did is we put a really big penalty, or a really big pain point that one of us would have to face if we failed with a challenge, and that is essentially taking care of a full paid trip to Vegas for the other person. So I think back when I tried to do it before, I never really had anything that was painful enough that would stop me from stopping the challenge. So the reason we chose July 1st to take on this challenge is we thought that there's really no better way to start getting momentum and getting some small wins than the second half of 2018. I'm sure a lot of you guys, just like myself, you know, we made all these resolutions, and we're such overachievers, at least, that we've made more resolutions than we've achieved. And I know it's really easy for me to perhaps get discouraged 3-4 months into a new year when I look back at my list and look back at some of my goals and realize that I haven't gone around to them. But the beautiful thing about July 1st is you really have a clean slate if you think about it. If you look back at the previous 6 months, you can consider it to be somewhat of a warm-up and really go hard on those goals or resolutions that you haven't really got an opportunity to do so. And I just thought it'd be a really cool opportunity to try to start this second half of the year with a challenge that I've been putting off for at least a couple of years now, and doing something as scary, at least for me, as this. And I was just thinking the momentum and the positive impact that it'd have on my mentality would be something special to kick off this second half. There's an actual term which states that whether we have 6 months or 12 months, or let it be 1 week or 1 month to get something done, the way we operate is we'll end up spreading out the work, and we'll end up actually getting it done in the time provided. So the way I like to look at it is, whether we had a year to accomplish this resolution, and if we're at the halfway point today, I think there's an opportunity to still get it done, even though it seems like we're 6 months behind. A lot of the stuff that we do want to get done or get started on, we never really needed 12 months to begin with. If any of you remember what the term is called, please comment below or let me know, but it just slipped out of my mind and I can't seem to remember it. But what I'm trying to say with it is, the 6 months that we have remaining, we should treat it as like a fresh new year. And there's a lot of action and momentum that can be built in these last 6 months. So don't think that just because we're halfway through the year, this year's over and it's time to start planning for the next year. The task and the goals that you may have set don't really need a full 12 months to get started, to get it done. One of the other things I wanted to talk about, and maybe drop a little bit of kind of my thoughts in today's roller coaster of a soccer game, if anybody had watched the Spain-Russia game. And for those of you who have watched, Spain was really in control for most of the game, and when you looked at the game, it was it was all one-sided. It was mostly on Spain attacking Russia. Russia had really no control. They were just clearly the weaker opponent, and for those of you who have watched it, know that Russia ended up winning at the end. And the first thing that came to mind in that kind of scenario was opportunities, whether in business and life, are very time sensitive. And obviously this time frame can vary, but it brought this thought into my mind of when we started Soxy, and you know, we were one of the first players out in the market 4.5 years ago selling socks, and we were kind of really not, you know, and it being our first business, we really didn't believe that the opportunity was as time sensitive as it is and as I know now, and we really didn't go as aggressive as we had to. And you know, looking back at the Spain game today, leading and having control of the ball and really being having the possession of the ball for at least 80% of the time, they should have really attacked and gone a little more aggressive than they were. And what ended up happening was the weaker opponent in the end ended up winning the game. And a lot of this I'm noticing as well right now is because we didn't go as hard on you know, on kind of expanding and marketing and really being aggressive when the opportunity was really there, when there were few players. Now the market is in a whole different scenario. You know, you see a lot of competition. The ability for others to enter is a lot easier, and although, you know, we didn't lose the game and we're still in business and business is great, it's a whole different playing field than it once was, you know, 4.5 years ago when we started. And I really believe that back then, if we stepped on the pedal a lot harder than we did, we would be a much bigger company today than we were back then. And you know, you witnessed that in today's game. It was a shocking ending where Russia ended up slowly taking it from Spain in penalty kicks, which is essentially a coin flip, and a big disappointment, but a big lesson learned that, at least for me, and you know, I don't know if this analogy makes sense for everybody, but opportunities are time sensitive. When you have the lead, when you have the opportunity to do something where you clearly have an unfair advantage, you gotta really step on it and not sit comfortably and expect it to go on forever. And another kind of area to talk about this is the marketing landscape. You know, Facebook 4 years ago or 3 years ago as an advertiser was a whole different ecosystem than it is today. Back, you know, 3-4 years ago, a lot of businesses were still not advertising on Facebook, and it was quite similar to, I guess, Google back in the day, like 10 years ago, where it was a lot cheaper to advertise. It was a lot cheaper to acquire customers. And if you look at Facebook today, and if you go on there and advertise, if you were an advertiser 4 years ago, you probably notice how different of a playing field it is, and how more people have realized the value. And that opportunity, although it's still a pretty big opportunity, it's not the same opportunity as it was 4 years ago. Meaning, you know, it costs a little bit more money to advertise. There's a lot more competition. There's a lot more noise, and obviously the market has changed. So it was an exciting game. I really enjoyed watching it. I'm super happy for Russia. We'll see what happens in the next round, but really sad for Spain, because the opportunity was there. They really didn't execute, I think, to the best of their abilities, even though they controlled the whole game the whole time, and it just slipped away. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm gonna upload this right now, and to summarize, I've kind of jumped into this 30-day challenge to upload a video every single day. The video has to be at least a minute long, and there's really no context on what I should talk about. And you know, we've set up this really painful penalty that if we don't upload a video daily, we have to essentially buy the other person a flight and a stay in Vegas at the Wynn Hotel. So the price point of that is it's going to be, you know, between $1,000 to $2,000. So the analogy I'm looking at here is kind of like the burn the boats. There's no way any of us would want to have to, you know, spend that kind of money to just kind of, you know, lose a challenge. So I think we're both pretty committed. We'll see how it goes over the next 30 days, and yeah, thank you for watching.